Is Epic Games sabotaging their own UEFN creative devs? Today I wanted to talk about that. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Guys, I'm gonna get straight into it for today. I saw this thread on Twitter a little while ago and I wanted to save it, make a video from it because I think it makes for a very interesting conversation. As always, I would love to know what you guys think down below. Snow Anonymous had this to say, and this was about the launch of Ballistic, but trust me, this whole conversation still has complete relevancy, okay? I'm so damn excited to play this as a player. As a creator, a little scary that Epic can just enter a game genre and just be the #1 map instantly with their marketing power and resources. Could Epic, in theory, just make their own official Go Goated or main prop hunt map and just kill other chances of breaking into the genre? Now, this is something that I've given like very little thought to, but to be honest with you, I haven't thought about it all that much, and I actually do believe as a UEFN dev, like not me, I meant like it's understandable for UEFN devs to be worried about something like this. Go Goated is one of the best Zone Wars maps on UEFN, on Discovery. I literally play that Bio Zone Wars, and there's a couple other maps that I've been sprinkling in there recently, but when I go to play Zone Wars, I go to these like well-published UEFN maps. The issue is, and I never really thought about this, is if Epic Games just wanted to drop a Zone Wars mode, they could do it and it would be instantly better. Let's say Late Game Arena, the old LTM. Every single time that they brought it back, I haven't played any Zone Wars, and I have been playing Zone Wars consistently all the way since, I want to say like chapter 1, season 8, 9, something like that. And there are always these creators that I go to, but once Epic Games actually just drops a Late Game Arena on the actual BR map, I'm here to play it. I do it every single time, and I totally understand why this is worrisome for a lot of devs, because Epic Games, they just entered the search and destroy. Think about all of the first-person maps, or I know like there wasn't a lot of first-person maps prior to Ballistic coming up. Think about all of the search and destroy type modes. Who's going to play that now? Ballistic is a well-functioning, very, very fun game. The only pro side to this is that Epic Games can market this very well, but then again, I know you can argue that they could just promote creative maps like they've been doing, but the problem is, and I don't know if there's ever going to be a time where we get away from this. As soon as Epic Games promotes a creator-made map, yeah, it could be very cool. Every now and then, I'll be checking it out. But I am so much less likely, and I know the player base is like this as well, I am so much less likely to try out a brand new map made by a creator as opposed to a brand new Epic Games mode. You can promote all of the search and destroy maps you could ever want to me, but I know that the quality, while it still could be good, it will not match Epic Games, and very few UEFN devs create experiences as good as something like Biozone Wars or Go Goated, things like that, these maps that have been at the top for a very, very long time now. As the initial tweet said, what about like prop hunt maps? They can dive in a horror map, they can dive into literally any genre they want and just completely dominate. Well, like, take a look at Fracture Reshaped, and I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the exact name of that, but the live event what everybody was talking about earlier, or like a couple weeks ago, the brand new Fractured live event. What if Epic Games just dropped a new game mode, kind of like the Zero Crisis finale that you can play anytime that you want? Hey, we ended up writing a different script to Fortnite Fractured because you guys have shown that you haven't necessarily liked it as much. We want to make it up to you. There you go. You just deleted the live event that somebody else came up with, put so much hard work into. But the problem is, and this is the issue that I have, okay? I know it's an issue. I know. But it's fair for Epic Games to do these things. It's Epic Games' game. It's a free market. If somebody can make something better, then they make something better. That's just the reality of not only Fortnite, the world. Any business ever. If you create a better product, you're gonna get more buyers. You're gonna have more players on your map if you create a better map. But then I know you're gonna come back and say something to the extent that it's not fair because Epic Games can literally do whatever they want. I get that. I understand why it's frustrating, but I have to keep my logic consistent here. It's fair. It's Epic Games' game, and I think that everybody should be very grateful at the fact that there's millions of dollars to be made potentially when it comes to you building a game just by sitting on your computer. And I know, like, I don't mean to demean it and say like it's just you sitting on your computer. My point being is you don't have to go out and get a 9-to-5 job if you succeed at doing something like this. This is something to be incredibly grateful for. I guess this is just something that comes with the territory, right? It's just diving into business. Who would have thought, by the way, like this old Battle Royale game, this brand new Fortnite game ended up becoming what it was today. It's businesses competing with businesses. As much as you don't want to look at it, anybody making one little single map is competing with a bunch of people. I'm competing with people on YouTube here. Like, I guess it just comes with the territory, but the problem is, and again, I have an issue saying this because while it is totally unfair that Epic Games can do whatever they want, it's their game. Like, I don't want to say who cares, but if I was a map maker, that's kind of the attitude I'd be having. I need to come up with something so unique and something that Epic Games would not want to emulate at any point. So I probably wouldn't be getting on the idea of just like things like search and destroy, things that the popular gaming community likes in general. But then again, there's nothing wrong with making those maps because they can be incredibly fun. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from this situation. Epic Games at the end of the day can do what they want, but it's not just about what I think. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Explore page and different replies to Snow to get a gauge on how people are feeling about this, guys. If you have not liked the video and subscribed, by the way, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time. Let's get into what everybody had to say about this. Noah UEFN had this to say: I believe this mode, if executed well, has the potential to attract more FPS players to Fortnite, ultimately benefiting all FPS maps in the long run. I get where that's coming from, but would Fortnite's ballistic really drive more people that enjoy search and destroy, that enjoy Valorant, and they would say, hey, let's go try Fortnite's take on this? For some reason, I just have a very, very difficult time imagining that. I'm sure it does happen with some people, and if it's executed to like the best thing ever, to the point where it's like better than actual search and destroy, then yeah, you know what, maybe, but it's definitely not there yet, okay? Let's continue on to what Cyan had to say about it. The audience who play Epic and made games are very different from the ones who play creative from what I have seen. Some people like me mostly want to see what Epic offers. Some people love playing player-built experiences. I don't think these two groups will ever change place. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. I would imagine that no matter what, when Epic Games drops a mode, most people are going to sit back and try it, and if they like it, they like it. But the problem is Epic Games' modes will function better. If Epic Games dropped a prop hunt mode, it would just be better. They have all of the tools at their disposal to do so. I don't know if I agree with that one from what Cyan said, okay? Brian Grayson had this to say: I'm less concerned about that Valve has the same edge for their games, but it's not often an issue. However, it would be nice if we had access to the same matchmaking they have. Very hard to do games like this when you must support mid-match joining. That's interesting. I would like to see that, and I wonder why Epic Games... Well, I mean, I guess it's... Maybe you would have to, like, hit a player threshold in order to access that. I think that'd be really cool. I actually never thought about that, to be honest with you. Let's continue on to what Joshy RB had to say. They bring in new audiences, though, so it may balance out. Also, one of the reasons Epic can have so much power over any mode like this is because of the tools they have. We can't still make custom weapons and items yet, but this mode has that stuff. It's not fair yet. But I don't think it'll ever be fair, because no matter what, Epic Games should just come up with whatever they want. They can come up with brand new skins, they can come up with brand new Kevin-themed devices, like, they can add storyline to it, right? I don't know. It's never going to be fair, but there are still more tools that creators need to make these types of experiences. I see a world, and I've been saying this since the beginning of the metaverse. I see a world down the road where UEFN is so fleshed out. There's all these different game modes that you can play, and they all work really, really nice. But every time that Epic Games drops something, I just don't ever see these modes actually eclipsing what Epic Games is capable of doing, unless somebody gets like an insane team that's overworked. You know, I just have trouble seeing that personally. Let's continue on to NitroBim, excuse me. That's fine. Creative maps never have this kind of quality. Unfortunately, like, I'm sitting back, and I hope I don't sound like a hypocrite at all, but I'm sitting back at this and I'm like, yeah, it would be cool if Epic Games dropped the prop hunt map. Yeah, it'd be cool if Epic Games brought a horror map. Yeah, it'd be cool if Epic Games made an only up, you know? I think that would be cool. And I hope that doesn't sound like, I hope that doesn't sound disrespectful, and I don't mean it that way to any developers out there. I would like to see from Epic Games, because I know the quality would be up. And I'm not saying that the quality of these maps aren't good. They're great, and I play a lot of different creative maps and have a great time doing so. I just still would like to see this stuff from Epic Games. I'm Nico had this to say: Epic Games' official game modes will always be 10 times better than any creative map, no offense. And I know it may be because Epic having more resources and options, but that's just a fact. Unfortunately, yeah, that is a fact. There's nothing you can do about that. That's the reality of the world. People need to just understand that, and they need to act accordingly. It's understandable to be completely worried about this. Perhaps that's something people should be taking into consideration when it's time to start building maps. Is this an idea that could be so good that Epic Games would want to jump on? Maybe you want to get the idea and get the money from it before Epic Games actually hops on, because I don't exactly see Epic Games jumping on after just seeing a creative map like, we need to make this right now. Perhaps if it was an idea like as good as Reload, but I don't know. But like, think about it, man. I'm sure there's been creative maps with the same idea as Reload, but you can't make the same grand map with the same POIs. Like, It's just not something that can compete with Epic Games. Chris had this to say, LMAO, is it ethical for Epic Games to continue making creative maps within their own IP? In this essay, I will look like, okay, I don't mean to call somebody a moron from it, to be honest with you, but it obviously is ethical for Epic Games to do. I just get when people are talking about it not being fair. I understand that perspective, but at the end of the day, just be grateful that you're on Epic's platform, period. I get where you're coming from, but that's the end result of all of this. Richie Toons had this to say about it. It depends on how they are executing it. I think this can benefit creators in Epic if they do it like Counter-Strike, where creator maps become the officially played maps if they are well received. Obviously, and own a game genre that competes directly will be hard. That's actually true, but that's interesting because I never really thought about creative made maps actually becoming the search and destroy map. I would love this. This is something that Halo did back in the day. If you guys remember, Halo would pick a bunch of Forge maps that were made and then they would just plop it on screen for people to come play. And oftentimes they were so good that it's what people preferred. I still remember like some of my favorite maps on Halo Reach in general are Asylum, Pinnacle. I'm not going to dive into all of those, but like they're just these basic maps that are made well and supported by the main developers of the game, so it makes sure it functions really well. This, I think, would be the best way to go about it. Something like the block. Hey, we're having a contest. Make a search and destroy map. Make a ballistic map. We'll feature it in a new map rotation. If people like it enough, then we'll keep it. I actually think, I love that. I love that, and I don't know why Epic Games hasn't done something like that. A rotation between Zone Wars game modes. I know it would really change the dynamic in how people develop stuff, but you could still make your own Zone Wars map, just you could have an extension of it. I think that'd be really, really cool. I think that's the best solution we've heard so far, okay? Let's continue on to Word and Drew. It's an incredible looking map, but if it's something a UEFN map can also do, or a team given the amount of content. However, the custom weapons is something we can't do at the moment, so it's unfair to compete with this new, clean content and their access to the tools to build such, plus discovery and algorithm exception. It's just Epic Games, man, and it's understandable for them to want their map to the top. They're not going to just put it in discovery for people to naturally find. It's just, again, it's an unfortunate reality. You're all wrong. I'm correct at this to say. Well, it is their game, so they can make whatever they want. They're just allowing you to make little game modes within their game. I believe as time goes on, these little games won't just be little games. And there's a lot of experiences right now that aren't just little games. It's just like, that seems to be what's succeeding right now. But trust me, that will change down the road. Reno had this to say, they have key features for the map that we don't have access to within UEFN, and some of these features are so critical for FPS and SND maps that it won't matter how good map creators make. Without the proper lobby flow, kicks, bans, and reconnect, you cannot compete. But you can still make a very fun experience that people will come about. You need to work around it. You need to have some idea that maybe makes your map stick out a little bit differently. I'm hoping it's not just a thumbnail to clickbait just to get people to come play the map, but hey, you know what? That also ends up working. But the map needs to actually have something that makes you come back. And why would I choose this map over Ballistic? I'm not that creative, but there are people out there, and I have complete faith that people will absolutely figure that out. Zom had this to say, I get what you mean, for sure, but I think this could be great. Epic makes a foundation, then creators can copy and make maps for different versions, and can make the Cube or Nuke or a Magical Beats Heart, and this could open up the world to better FPS games and the maps like COD. I like that optimistic approach from it, because now, and I don't know if they're in the game yet, but I would imagine if not soon, you'll have all of the tools that Ballistic has to make your own Ballistic type maps. It's just going to be incredibly difficult to make those same kind of maps, right? It's going to be difficult to compete. Like, why would I? These creators need to give me a reason to go from Ballistic to playing this other mode. There are maps that exist that take me away from Battle Royale. Biozone Wars is my favorite duos map right now. Finest Realistic is the cleanest 1v1 experience I have ever played if I'm just looking to hone my skills. Minigame Box Fight is by far the most unique, well flushed out, and fun experience I have when I want to do something goofy with my sister. Give me a reason to leave Ballistic and play this brand new Search and Destroy. Is it even possible at this point to make multiple maps? Yeah, it is. It is. What am I saying? I just don't know, like, if it can be as grand as Ballistic. Like, I mean, like, the viewing experience and stuff, like the actual graphics. I mean, like, looking off into the distance. That's what I'm talking about. But this can absolutely be done. You know what else can be done, though? You watching this video right here on how to enjoy Fortnite again, because a lot of people have been losing the love. I would love to have you guys over at this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.